Hi there, I'm Suzanne, your friendly Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. Welcome to my monthly paper pumpkin alternative video on my YouTube channel and blog. I share 5 alternative ways to use the kit in the video, and I sell the products I feature as well. For Paper Pumpkin subscribers that choose me as their demonstrator, I send an exclusive tutorial bundle with a dozen more alternatives. I hope you enjoy my free video tutorial and would love to see you sign up with me as a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. Visit sunstampin.com for more information. So this is the Paper Pumpkin for April 2018. It's called You Are My Anchor. It came with a Island Indigo, which this color is retiring FYI, Stampin' Spot, and this really cute stamp set, as well as a ton of other stuff. It was to make boxes, like almost like a matchbox. So that orange stripy bits, well, hang on, here's some envelopes. Really like the pattern of the envelopes. FYI, Calypso Coral is not my favorite color. Actually, it's probably my least favorite, next to, say, greens, dark greens. Anyway, so those were the little cards, and that has little anchors on it, super cute. And that is like a lighthouse, 3x3 cards. So this is the box thing. And then there's that stripy part that like goes over top of it like a matchbox, and you were to fill it with a whole bunch of tiny little cards. So I'm kind of going over this because I have a couple new Paper Pumpkin subscribers. Hello to Gladys and hello to Jenny. Thanks so much for signing up. And I just wanted to let you know sort of what comes in your kit. So I have started off with one of the card bases in the kit. I cut it down to about an inch and a half. And then I'm also adding in some crumb cake. So this is from my stash. This also a little piece of Whisper White Thin. And my card base is Whisper White Thick. There's 2 different kinds of Whisper Whites. And then I'm stamping the ship's wheel. That is actually what it's called, FYI. I looked it up because steering wheel just doesn't sound right. So it's the ship's wheel. This was stamped in crumb cake because I felt it somehow wrong to stamp a ship's wheel with blue ink. So just adding that focal piece onto onto the piece of crumb cake with some double-sided adhesive. My favorite is Fast Fuse, but alas, it's no longer sold by Stampin' Up, so we will have to use up our stash and then try to figure out some other fantastic adhesive. Don't get me started. Okay, so I cut this little piece down to 2 inch, and then I'm just using my grid mat and cutting off, angling the corners and putting a dot in. So I'm just going to make this look like a tag. So this was another one of those 3x3 cards that came in the kit. So I have stamped You're a Lifesaver, and I'm putting the mini dimensionals. You'll notice that the dimensionals that come in the Paper Pumpkin kits are double the thickness of our regular dimensionals that Stampin' Up! Sells in their product offering. So it's kind of nice to use these particular dimensionals because they're super thick and you get a lot of dimension on your cards. So now I'm putting the tiny little dimensionals behind the anchor, and I'm making it all a tag. So I thought it was kind of the hearts that are already on the tag, on the card base that I made into a tag are kind of already there, so it just went perfectly. So the twine that came in the kit is thicker than linen thread, and Stampin' Up! Offers linen thread as a lovely ribbon in their regular offering, but this is a bit thicker. It's like the perfect twine for this nautical type card. I really liked this month's kit. It was hard. I wanted to actually do the cards the way they were intended, to be honest. I did do a few, but my job here is to show you what you can do when you want to step outside of the box a little. So here is a few stills of the first card. Moving on to the second card, I'm adding a few more products. Right here, I'm using my blends markers. These are alcohol markers, and I am just adding some extra dimension to the, I guess this is a lifesaver. So the darkest one, I'm making a little line, and then I'm coming in with a lightest or lighter alcohol marker and blending that line just so that it gives dimension, shadow, that sort of thing. So I colored 4 of them up. I ended up only using 3 on this card. I'm using one of those sleeves for the matchbox, and I'm infamous for this. I tear everything apart. I rip up envelopes. I try using what I've been given in the kit to do something with. So I have cut this piece down to about 5.5, and it is sized at 3.5. So my Whisper White thin piece is sized at 3. And then I just followed the instructions that were in the kit, and they had well, I guess I kind of just guessed if this is how it was supposed to go, like the rope behind the lifesaver. So I used a little bit of fast fuse. There is glue dots that come in the kit. Everything that you need is in this kit, but just for ease of use, I use some of my own supplies. So please don't give me thumbs down for using my own supplies. It just makes the video go faster, and one of the positive things about being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator is that I can buy stuff and I get it at a discounted price. So I want to use my stuff. I don't want to be sort of completely limited to what's in the kit. I do try to stick somewhat, but I do add a few things here or there. So you can see what I did, put dimensionals on the back of those lifesavers, stuck those onto a piece of Whisper White thin, and then I'm adhering that all to the stripy Calypso coral piece, cutting off the excess. I'll be adding adhesive on the back of that and adhering it to my card front, which is thick Whisper White. And I think that I have suggested to many of the followers here that if you do want to do some of my alternatives, it's probably a good idea for you to have Whisper White thick, which is my card base of choice, and that shimmer pen that I just used, the Wink of Stella, I use that a lot. So that's also a thing to put on your list of things to get. This is a fine tip glue pen. It's quite thick. It comes out a little milky, a little cloudy, but as you can see when it dries, it's just got a super shine and a slight domed look. So I have made my lifesavers lifelike. How about that? Okay, so the lifesavers are still wet. So I did stamp in the Calypso coral. This is one of the die cuts that came in the kit, and or banner, I should say. And then I sort of was just messing around with it. There was a weird kink in my string here, in my twine. So then I thought, well, you know, I could do a fancy knot thing. But then again, I'm not really super nautical, so I just kind of, it's like I braided it, see, because I'm a hairdresser, so I mess with stuff to try to make it, you know, look pretty. And I think it's kind of fun. I did sort of a nifty little knot, and I bet a sailor who's watching this is just shaking their head going, oh my gosh, like just stop right now, because that wouldn't hold anything, but it kind of looks cool. So that was my naughty embellishment there. I did look up some nautical knots, but they were too advanced for me. Forget it. Who's got time for that? Okay, so use my bone folder to fold the card in half. And now I'm using a liquid adhesive, and I'm just putting a few dots on the card, and the gold foiled hearts came in the kit. The thing I'm using to pick them up is called a crystal katana. Unfortunately, Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell this, probably because the inventors really wanted to make a lot of money. This thing is like not cheap. And of course I had to get it. So it just has a waxy tip so that I'm able to slightly pick up what I'm working with, whether it be a sequin or what have you, and adhere it to my front page. All right, so this is, I think, my favorite one. I started off with my Big Shot, and this is my circle framelits. Now, if you have something circular, you can easily cut circles out of the papers like I am doing here. You just have to trace around and with a steady hand cut it. And I just made a whole bunch of circles. So you can see what I'm doing here. I have some adhesive. I'm adhering it's like the paper has waves on it. So and I don't know what this is called, a porthole. I wanted to make a porthole. So I have some, this is window sheet. It's just clear plastic. You can get it from the backing of any kind of packaging, that sort of thing. There is a kit in October 2017 that had it was a shaker card, so it had these foam circles, and I saved a couple of them. Now, if you don't have the foam circles left, you can use, Stampin' Up! Does sell, it's called foam adhesive strips, and they're lovely. So, and they're the same kind of thing. So you can see I had some camera problems here. So I made the rivets on the porthole, on the gray porthole, from the die cut anchors. They had little circles in them where you put the string. And so, yeah, I poked out all of those and I used those for my rivets. And then, just cut down a piece of this. The blue stripey is 3 inches wide. And then, I'm just sort of compiling all of these elements together to make a super cute card. This is probably the one where I'm pulling a few items from my stash, and you can see what I was showing there earlier. There is a little boat that's on the horizon as you're looking through the porthole, and my camera didn't pick it up. What I did there, I just stamped it and then I fussy cut it out, which means that I just cut the little boat out and I put a dimensional on the back, and so that I was able to make it look like it was floating. I really like this card, so cute. And the sentiment is adventure awaits. So if you know maybe a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that perhaps wants to go to Greece like me for our incentive trip, I'm not anywhere near being able to earn the trip, but I sure do want to go. And man, if somebody made me a card like this, it would just give me that extra oomph to, work hard, as if I don't work hard. I really like this card though. It's cute and it's true. Adventure does await. Moving on, I had a whole bunch of these little envelopes and card bases and stuff, and I cut them out with my Big Shot, but the sizing of these are 1 3/8 squares. So I took 4 squares of the different color designer series paper, or envelopes really, and put dimensionals on the back of them. And then, as you can see here with this anchor, I'm putting dimensionals 2 on the bottom, 1 on the top, just because I wanted it to lay a little flatter. and this is where I was really struggling with my computer, or sorry, my camera. I was kind of standing up, making sure that it was recording. It was painful. Don't worry, I have everything worked out. I hope you make comment on how fantastic the camera works with my next videos throughout the next week, because, you know, sometimes. So again, I'm just doing the knot thing it was just a double knot, feed that linen thread through. It's thicker than linen thread. It's like cord. And then just doing a double knot. It's a cool knot, actually. It does look like a nautical knot. And that was a super simple design, putting those squares on. So, and I am, like I said, I am trying to stick with the using most of the products from the kit. So here is another kit idea. I didn't really I pulled the card base, which is Whisper White Thick, but again, I'm using the stripy Calypso Coral, and it's Pool Party, actually. And this is 2.5 inches. So it's about 5.5 inches long and about 2.5 inches wide. And yeah, I just double checked. And now I'm stamping in some of the die cuts that came with the kit, the boat, the ship's wheel, and the anchor, all in the Island Indigo. And then I ended up punching circles, or actually not punching, but I used my Big Shot, and I used the 1 and it's about 1 5/8 circle. So if you have a circle that you can use, you could probably do, actually a medicine bottle cap would do. You just trace it around and just cut it. It's not going to be as perfect as using a Big Shot, but you know, if you don't have a Big Shot, then you just have to make two. And I really like this one too, because it's just using simple shapes. And but it definitely has that masculine nautical feel to it. And even if there is that glaring Calypso Coral piece right in the front and center, yeah, not my favorite, but it does kind of go, I gotta say. So I adhered all the circles on dimensionals, and the trick is to put the center one in first, and then the two on either side, so you get nice spacing, or decent spacing anyway. It's a handmade card, doesn't have to be perfect. So pressing down and then trimming off the twine or cord. And I did go back and actually put some glue dots behind there, because I didn't want the twine to flippy flop. Yeah, that's a technical term. It's really late at night right now, so that's the best you're getting. Anyway, yeah, here's the glue dots, and the sentiment went on. It says adventure awaits. And those are my alternative cards for this month. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for thumbs upping. I really, really appreciate you all. I love seeing the comments. I think it is wonderful that people let me know that they are inspired. I really, really appreciate you. So thanks so much, and I will see you again soon. Bye. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. On screen are 2 more videos for inspiration. Click on the maple leaf for my blog, or click on me to subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.